We have an exciting update on the Canon EOS R1. Will the Canon EOS R1 have a global shutter? What about being an upgrade over the 1DX Mark III? And will it have a groundbreaking new autofocus system? Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any exciting news like this, or any rumors or tutorials. And by the way, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. Details are in the description down below, or you can watch this video here. But essentially, for your chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe. Now, if you like my previous video on the Canon EOS R1, you're going to love this one as I have exciting new information. Canon Rumor says that the Canon EOS R1 won't simply be a mirrorless version of the 1DX Mark III, but will be an upgrade. The EOS R1 will have a new image sensor with a global shutter. It will have a groundbreaking autofocus system, more capable than the current EOS R5 and R6, and will have the fastest frame rate for stills cameras ever produced by Canon. The announcement? Well, we're looking for the announcement in the second half of 2021. There's an awful lot to unpack here. Instead of being a mirrorless version of the 1DX Mark III, the tack taken by Canon with the EOS R, which was a mirrorless version of the 5D Mark IV with very little in terms of upgrades. The R1 will be an upgrade more akin to the 1DX Mark IV. The new image sensor will have a global shutter, and while a rumor, Canon Rumors has reported on the development of a global shutter in the past, back in 2019. The great thing about a global shutter is that it eliminates any rolling shutter as it collects the entire frame at once. This will be a welcome addition for photographers and videographers alike. But what is meant by a groundbreaking autofocus system? The R5 and R6 do a pretty good job of eye detection on humans and most animals. I believe that the R1 is going to utilize machine learning much more than any other camera. Canon's had good success with the R5 and the R6. I think they're going to take that success and double down on it, improving autofocus accuracy at even faster frames per second. I'll keep you up to date on the Canon EOS R1 just like I did with the R5. Will Canon drop a development announcement like they did with the 1DX Mark III in October last year? Or will they drop it in bits and pieces for months and months and months and months like they did with the Canon EOS R5? Now, I'm sure I know what you're thinking. You'd prefer to see one detailed development announcement, but where's the fun in that? Subscribe to get the latest news as it happens on this. And now, for a behind the scenes of an 8K video that I just published, and I think it's scheduled to go live right as I'm filming this. So in this segment of behind the scenes, and you can see I'm a little bit frustrated because it was not easy. I wanted to give you guys an update on the 8K video that I just published I don't know, an hour ago, a few hours ago, or half an hour ago. It depends on how long it takes to put this video together. But I had an awful lot of problems. Now, as far as shooting, it wasn't a problem at all. I was able to shoot an 8K video, no problem. The temperature was under 60 degrees, so overheating wasn't an issue at all. And I think all told, I recorded about 20 minutes. Now, of that 20 minutes, only 5 minutes and 40 seconds was actually usable video that I actually brought into Final Cut. And then I converted to Apple ProRes 422, because if you're going to have any luck at editing 8K video, unless you've got a behemoth of a machine, you're going to need to use proxy files. So the first thing I do is create it to Apple ProRes 422, and then I bring it into Final Cut using proxies. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, that video that I recorded, it was shot in 8K all-I, not RAW, because I don't know how to edit RAW yet. I haven't looked into that. 10-bit 422 using C-Log. Now, as I mentioned, the imported clip is 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And I spent probably about 5 minutes or so editing it. In terms of export time, it took a good 20 minutes to export that. But here's the problem. When I went to export it, I didn't even check. YouTube on Final Cut limits me to basically 4K. I looked at all the other settings in Compressor, and I couldn't figure out how to export in 8K, except for this one option, and it was pretty quick, but the end results was a file, and I'm surprised I had enough space on my drive. I think it was 698 gigabytes. Yeah, a 5-minute video, 698 gigabytes. YouTube looked at it and said, yeah, no, dude, there's no way you're giving me this file. I'm not even going to try and look at this. So one of the takeaways I have of trying to shoot 8K video, while it's great for your personal lives, distribution, watching on your own TVs, if you happen to have an 8K television. But in terms of trying to get it up to YouTube, I thought it was pretty easy. I'd watched some reviews of people upgrading 8K video, but what I think they were doing is filming in 8K and then exporting to 4K. Now, if you've heard of anybody who's actually been able to publish 8K video, I'd like to know, but it was a very frustrating process trying to figure out how to upload it. I spent about 2 hours trying to export files that YouTube would take. Well, yes, the camera can record 8K. You can buy 8K televisions. As far as trying to get that information up onto a website such as YouTube or Vimeo in 8K is proving to be rather difficult. And as I mentioned in that video, one of the biggest things about 8K is not actually producing 8K content, but using that 8K for various different types of video formats, automatically converting it down to DCI or Vista, VistaVision, or being able to punch in where you really want to see that extra detail. There are huge benefits to 8K video, but not for your ordinary average filmmaker. I just really was curious about 8K. I thought, I've got some more time now. It's a little cooler outside. So I'm no longer held back by the R5 saying you've only got 5 minutes. And if R5 saying you've only got 5 minutes, you can't even think. You can't allow those creative juices to flow. But once the overheating is out of the way, and which I've noticed is anything below about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, none of the overheat modes actually overheat with firmware 1.1.0. So that's a huge benefit with playing around with 8K. But in terms of trying to actually publish an 8K video format, not as good, didn't go over so well. But let's just do a quick recap. As far as shooting in 8K with the R5, it's a breeze. Easy to set up, C-Log, no problem. As far as bringing it into my computer, yeah, not a problem at all. You have to follow these very simple steps. You convert it to ProRes, and then you want to import it and create a proxy file. And with that, I was able to edit 8K video like it was 4K. It was pretty easy, and I was able to play it back, no problems whatsoever. But exporting and being able to consume 8K video files, that's a completely different story of something I'm going to have to research a little bit and get back to you guys on. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win the Synco Lav S6E and M3 shotgun microphones. I'll be awarding these two prizes to one lucky viewer once the channel reaches 20,000 subscribers. And I'll offer up a different and more expensive prize every 10,000 subscribers until the channel reaches 100,000. And once I reach that plateau, I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. And on that bombshell, thanks for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.